On today's show, can drinking wine help a sunburn? Fingers crossed. Aaron Lucas Hatul road test. Plus, Reba is hitting Universal Studios with another makeup emergency. And Christopher Buckle completes his 3-part lesson with some sultry, smoky eyes on yours truly. It is all coming up on Inside Beautiful.
Hi, this is Inside Beautiful, and I'm Aaron Lucas. Here's what's Walmart Beauty is about to get even bigger. The 4,000 store giant recently announced I'm the Beauty. Jody Pinson, a 23-year Walmart veteran who plans to continue a trendy new nail salon. Yes! Getting your mani-pedi at Walmart? Yes, please. Congress. If passed, the law will give the FDA the power to regulate harmful ingredients in cosmetics. Incredibly, the current law hasn't been updated since 1938. Cite formaldehyde as a toxic example. Ugh. The chemical's been banned for use in professional hair straighteners in most countries, but it's still permitted in the U.S. That is disgusting. To find out more about the initiative, go to safecosmetics.org. And good news from my hairy girls, woo! Fans of laser hair removal, the FDA has approved an to temporary tattoos, including henna, a popular temporary art that is besides a compound found in grapes or grape derivatives that may protect skin cells from sun-damaging ultraviolet radiation. These flavonoids reportedly stop the chemical reaction that kills skin cells and cause sun damage. Pass that bottle, please. I can already see it, you guys. Skinny Girl Sauvignon Blanc Sunblock. You're welcome. Another new study ties permanent hair loss in African-American women to excessive gorgeous faces of Madonna, Kelly Ripa, Stephanie Seymour. It's quite a resume. That's all the latest beauty news. Tune in to Inside Beautiful next week when I give you a
lot of beauty products here and really popular items out on the market. We're gonna let you know, are they good, are they advertisers? So we don't have to uphold to any certain criteria of like, we can't say anything bad.
So you're gonna be totally honest,
We're gonna be totally honest here. So let's start out with a really popular one, the Beauty Blender Sponge. And I'll tell you why. I love this little tapered tip right here and this little broad base right here. What's really good about the tapered tip is for getting in like the inner corners of the eyes, the corners of the nose, and this sponge just really curves to the contours of your face. Now the way I like to use it is to get it a little damp first, squeeze out the excess, put some foundation, my liquid foundation on the back of my hand, dip it in there, and it just gives you a really natural coverage. It shears it out a little bit, so if you're going for more of a full coverage.
That's exactly how I do it, but it blends like perfectly.
It blends beautifully. You don't have streaks or anything like that. I really love it for that. Now, there are knockoffs out there. I have yet to find one that I think works as well. They're usually more stiff, or there's just something off about them. So as much as a bargain huntress as I am, this is one area I will splurge. And it's about $30 for a 2-pack, but I got these two on Amazon for $21.
Ooh, see, she's so clever. Amazon, go online, guys. Get a good deal.
Amazon does have some good beauty products.
Okay, this thing is weird. I want you to tell me about it. It's a brush that looks like you've been brushing the Cookie Monster. I'm not sure what's happening.
So this is kind of a strange looking thing. It's Goody's Quick Style Paddle Brush. It runs you about $12 at the drugstore. And these bristles on here are supposed to help dry your hair faster. It's supposed to remove 30% more water is what they say. So you're supposed to use it right after you get out of the shower, brush it through your hair. I had seen this all over Pinterest, and so I was thinking, okay, it must really work. My girlfriends are pinning it. So I bought it, tried it, a complete dud.
What?
It didn't work.
Get this out of here.
Get it out of there.
We don't want to mess with that.
I tried it every which way, with a blow dryer, without a blow dryer. It didn't matter. I timed my hair how long it took me without this product versus how long it took me with.
I can just see you timing it. You're like, and go.
I was scientific about it because I really wanted to believe it would work. I have thick hair that takes forever to dry, but it didn't work. Don't waste your money. Move on.
Don't get it. It's a weird looking brush.
It is a weird looking brush.
Okay. Now tell me what's going on here.
So this is the Clarisonic Aria. So Clarisonic's been around for a while. This is their latest version. It has some new features. It's got customizable speeds with low, medium, and high. And then a cool new charger. You can actually even just plug this into your laptop. So when you're traveling on the go, you don't have to bring any extra accessories. This is it right here. But what I like about this brush in particular is how well it cleans your face. So I was a skeptic, but you know, normally when I cleanse my face, I do a little bit of toner afterwards with a cotton pad, and there's still some makeup on there. With this, No way. It was completely clean. I didn't need to do any extra toning. The exception is your eye area, because you're not going to use this over your eyes. That would hurt. It would be kind of weird. Might pull out some lashes.
I feel like it would be bad for your under eye skin. It's like softer tissue or whatever.
So I wouldn't use it there, but everywhere else it actually did work. Now my word of caution would be for people with really sensitive skin, maybe rosacea. I think this brush is going to be a little too aggressive. So if you wanted to give it a try, just make sure it's at a store that you can return it at. But the price point is pretty steep. It's about $200.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I have a knockoff version of this. I can take this one home and try it out if you want. But the knockoff one my mom got for me, and it was only like $16, I think she said.
And do you love it?
I love it. It's great. It's like a facial every morning, so it's amazing. So I would wonder like how big of a difference this makes. I know you said it's got like multiple speeds to it, and pretty fascinating.
Well, even from Clarisonic, the step kid sister Mia, they have that version, and it's about $80 less. So really, I think you can get the same result. This one just has some souped up new features, but is it worth $200? I don't know. I did get my face cleaner, but I don't know if I need to pay that much money.
Thank you so much, Desiree. So how much of a makeover can you give a total stranger in 10 minutes? Well, when you're in the company of celebrity makeup artists, you'd be surprised. Let's follow our beauty reporter, Reba Burr and Lucy Halpern up at Universal Studios City Walk for our next makeup emergency.
Hey guys, it's Reba for Inside Beautiful at Universal City Walk with professional makeup artist Lucy Halpern.
Oh my God, it's another makeup emergency!
Today's 10-minute makeover is Christina Conyers from North Carolina.
So I'm going to start off with a clean base. Okay. This coverage is so good because it's really light, but it's got great coverage and it lasts all day.
And there's tons of sunscreen in it.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've done a nice clean base, so she's all fresh again after the heat of today. So I'm doing a really light coat, but I'm going to do a dark colour on her. I'm just going to do a light, creamy colour for her lids.
Okay.
All over. This is nice because it's creamy, but it's not. It's light, but it's not too shiny. She has really lovely green eyes, so I'm going to put a sort of green-grey base on her actually.
Oh, perfect.
And go that way.
I'm realizing that you're not ever priming the eye. I know so many makeup artists or YouTube videos that always start with a primer on the eyelid. Is there a reason that you don't go for that?
I put a light base on it, that was enough. And then you saw I did a light powder. I've done a neutral colour powder, which is the same, that's as good as.
It's enough to make it stick?
Yeah. You saw they've all, you know, they've all stayed, they haven't creased.
Right, right. I suppose it's...
You know, sometimes I use it.
Put more products on than you need.
You can see now I'm going to do like really lovely pink cheeks, which I was going to do more of a tangerine colour cheek, but now I'm going for a pink tone on her. I'm actually lifting her eye up and putting it underneath and up, so I'm really pushing depth and colour up there. And by pushing it up and around, you're really blending it in as well, so you're not just doing that line. Because it's about blending.
It is about blending. If there's anything we're learning here, it's about blending.
So I'm bringing the colour right into the inside of the sockets just to bring it more youthful look as well, and then I'll cat it out a bit.
Color on you.
That's nice.
So something slightly different from brown, but still in that neutral category, so it's
keeping that
nice
tonal colours. And then I'm going to line it with a bit of black as well.
Right.
Colours just to pop out her cheek. A little bit of shadow liner. Just to define the eyes a little bit. Pink tone lips again.
Our favorite lip color.
Favorite lip colour. Finish with a bit of mascara. Zigzag the mascara, bottom to the top, just to get extra depth. I'm zigzagging from the root of the lash to the end. There's your 10-minute makeover.
All right, she looks ready for the evening. All right, there you are.
Oh wow.
What do you think? You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I like it.
You like it good.
What do you think, boyfriend? He's giving us the thumbs up. He likes it too.
Celebrity makeup artist Christopher Buckle has worked on some of Hollywood's most iconic faces: Gwyneth, Mariah, Jennifer, Madonna, and more. In part 3 of our 3-part Christopher exclusive, get ready to learn the art of the ultimate late night accessory, the smoky eye. This is one of my favorite looks. I'm so excited you can show us all of the tips on how to perfect it.
Well, you actually have the perfect kind of eye to do a smoky eye. You can do a smoky eye on any eye, but of course, an eye that doesn't have a lot of real estate with a large eyelid is really perfect. A lot of Asian women, for instance, don't have a lot of the big eyelid space, so they would always use a smoky eye because you can't really do the liquid eyeliner with the wing kind of thing because you run out of space and it doesn't really work out. So like Claudia Schiffer, for instance, has eyes like this. So
Me and Claudia, we're so similar.
So the first thing to do when you're working on a smoky eye is you want to really create a matte level kind of space to work on, because you don't want any kind of natural oils or stickiness to occur, because it's going to stop and inhibit the shadow from blending well. You can use creams and things like that, but I am going to show you with a regular powder shadow, because I think that most people are able to do that, and it's very easy sometimes to get very messy and muddy looking with cream eyeshadows. So I'm just using a cream color that just blanks out your eyelid, creates a uniform surface so that our shadows don't stick and kind of just glide over and become very diffused looking. I'm also going to go under the eye, look up, and do the same thing.
Oh, I've never usually do that.
Okay. Now, also another thing that I noticed that most women are always like, how do I do a smoky eye? It seems to baffle everyone. But what I think is the best way to go, instead of going dark to light, is maybe go big to small. Go lighter and big, and then get darker and smaller as we go. Because I think it's easier to blend that way somehow for most people. So I'm just using, look how messy my palettes are. This is the life of a professional makeup artist who travels all the time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just constantly beating up all of my stuff. But it works all just the same. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to take a gray eyeshadow. I'm going to do a black smoky eye because I think that's classic. That's what most people really think of when they think of a smoky eye. You can use browns, you could use bronzes, you could use beautiful violet colors. All those colors work. But I'm going to do gray and black because it'll give you the most intense kind of effect just for, conversation purposes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Let's go bold. I have a question for you. As far as like the colors go, do you notice that, you said more of like the browns, the blacks, like you can go different colors. Does that change with the color of eyes? Like, would you give a tip for maybe somebody with a darker eye, if there's a color palette that would work better?
Black works on everyone, but sometimes like a beautiful purple color, like I use purple on Demi Moore, for instance. She's got gorgeous green eyes, so the purple really magnifies the green. You've got green in your eyes as well. So we can do the purple if you want. If you want to just try an experiment, I'll show you how to do that. But blue eyes look really great with a deep navy. Also warm browns make blue eyes really look electric because it's the opposite. Whenever you put the opposite color next to its opposite, it pops. So that's basically the rule with eyeshadows.
Awesome.
Do you want to try the purple or whatever you want?
You know what? You are the master. You do what you want.
All right.
I'm just along for the ride.
I think the easiest way is to first start by just doing a wash across the entire eyelid of the lighter color. So I'm using a gray, and I'm just going to do a wash. The whole eyelid. I always take from the cake of makeup onto my brush, onto my hand. Doesn't look pretty, but the hand gets washed. And again, it works the color into the bristles of the brush so that I don't end up applying a big glob of messy makeup on the eye, and it can fall onto the cheekbone and mess up our concealer and our contouring and our highlight. Makes a big mess. I'm doing real feathery strokes because I'm open. I also like to have the eye open when I'm working. Don't go like this into the mirror because you're doing your makeup blindly. If you apply it to the lid, but then open your eye and then work, you can see the shape that you're creating with your makeup. Instead of just otherwise you're not really creating an eye contour shape. You're just blindly throwing color on.
That's something that I've seen when I'm doing photo shoots. Like, I do modeling as well, and when I'm doing that, I've noticed that, and it helps a lot when I'm at home trying these looks. You have to actually know what you're doing, so you have to be able to see it. So
Yeah, if you really want to change your face with makeup, because my philosophy is that makeup shouldn't just be adding color to your face. It should be adding color, but also creating a beautiful shape that's making you look prettier, because otherwise you're just decorating yourself, you know?
That's something that I've seen when I'm doing photo shoots. Like, I do modeling as well, and when I'm doing that, I've noticed that, and it helps a lot when I'm at home trying these looks. You have to actually know what you're doing, so you have to be able to see it. So
Yeah, if you really want to change your face with makeup, because my philosophy is that makeup shouldn't just be adding color to your face. It should be adding color, but also creating a beautiful shape that's making you look prettier, because otherwise you're just decorating yourself, you know?
Well, that's why you're a true artist.
Now look at me and look up. I'm also taking that same gray, it's a smaller brush, and I'm just whisking it lightly underneath the eye. Now some people might even think this is enough of a smoky eye, but I think that we should show a real true smoky eye so that we really have an understanding of what it is. And you can always shrink it down to suit your needs.
Go big or go bold, or go big or go home. There we go.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's the saying. Go big or go what?
Look up.
Just go away, right?
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
Okay, it's the same color, and you could just look to camera. Now, if you do get any kind of fallout, you could always just whisk it away. Some people like to place some powder underneath the eye and then work and then dust it away at the end. I sometimes don't like that because it can really dry out around the eye.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to show you, let me show you this.
Is there a type of a powder, should you do something like that you would use? Because one of my biggest pet peeves from pageants is when the girls have the like white under their eye.
I don't like the white concealer look. It's very Mary Tyler Moore from the 70s. It was actually fashionable in the 70s to use a violet colored concealer around the eye. And it would create a really like white raccoony kind of a thing. I don't really think it's a look that it's a very cosmetic look, so it doesn't look natural.
Yeah.
So I really think that's why when you do your blush, it's always good to lift it up over that area, because it kind of tones in the paleness that can occur that you might require even to conceal what's happening underneath your eye.
Perfect.
The next thing I'm doing is we did the gray, simple white wash across the eye and under the eye. Now I'm taking black, okay? And what makes smoky, look down please, is a gradation of color. So you really want to have it darkest close to the eye and then have it diffused outward. But what I think is by going opposite, like by doing our gray first, I think it just is easier. I think it's somehow it clicks into people's minds a little bit easier.
Yeah, it simplifies the process.
Yeah, let me see. And I'm keeping this mostly on the outer corner of the eye. You could do really bold across the whole lid if you want, but I'm gonna keep it soft and pretty, open. You've got a very feline-like face, cat-like.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. If they're casting the next Batman movie, I could totally be Catwoman.
Well, I
Give me a
don't
call,
think
guys.
that any girl would mind saying that she looks like a little kitty cat.
Oh yeah.
If I said a possum,
If you said a possum, I don't know what would happen. Kick you out of my beach house.
yeah. Look at that view.
I know.
It's amazing.
Wanna go surfing later?
Okay.
Okay.
So now, I don't surf. I don't wear shorts, but I'll watch you.
You can watch me. I wouldn't want to get in the water now that my makeup's gonna be so pretty.
Hey, that's right. Okay, so now I did the black on the outer corner of the eye. And now I'm just gonna take the same black on a wedge synthetic brush. By the way, $2.99, art store.
Ew.
You can use this for cream liners or a little wedge brush to do your eyebrows or to do what I'm doing, look up, just to get close to the lashes. And I'm just going really lightly. I'm kind of just pressing it. If you're really soft-handed and not aggressive with your face as you're doing it and pressing on the brushes too hard, you get a more diffused look, which is usually the look that people want. You don't have to work so hard at like blending and blending. Okay. Now,
I feel like we need to do a whole segment where we go to an art store and like get to go play and figure out
hey,
the
I'm
best
into
brushes.
it.
I love it.
I'll go. Not that, I mean, I'm like a makeup addict, so I'll go shopping for makeup anytime, anywhere. One of my favorite things is when I'm going to different countries that are kind of like random countries. I like to go and see what their kind of local makeup situation is.
Yeah.
Okay, this is called tight lining. We've heard about this, and basically I'm taking a synthetic brush, my little $3 wedge brush. I'm using a waterproof cream liner. This is MAC, Black Track. And I'm just, look down, and I'm just placing it in the roots of the eyelash. I like to use this instead of a liquid liner on the top lid, because that just uses up precious real estate, and it also makes you look like you're wearing more makeup. And I just put it right where your eyelashes are growing out of your eye. Again, like creating a smoky eye is about going from darkest to lightest. So this is creating like a ground zero kind of for your eye. And I'm going to line the inside of your eye with this as well. And it's going to be a dramatic look. You don't have to do it in your eye as well, but I want to really show you guys at home what we're talking about. Because then, when you put your mascara on, it diffuses this even further and adds to that blended look. I'm doing one eye at a time on purpose because I think it's important for people to see the before and after, and then we'll do the other.
I mean,
one.
I think we just leave one eye done and.
Well, that could be a look as well. Now, what I'm doing right now is if you feel like you're not blending well, you can always take that color that we started with, that blank out kind of beigey color, and just put it on a big brush and just kind of use that to buffer the edge, and it helps blend out that edge and diffuse it. Open. Yeah. Now mascara. I use waterproof because in Hollywood you never know when someone's going to burst into tears. Look down. Of course, you can curl your lashes and do all of those things, and you could put 30 coats of this on, or you could use this, a false lash, which there's not a person that gets out of my hands without a false lash.
False lashes are the best.
Now, I'm using all matte colors, but you can add an iridescence to like the inner corner of the eye. Look up. The lower mascara is particularly important with a smoky look because it does diffuse the blending that you've done even more. Okay, that's done. Now, I'll add some iridescence in there for you, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do a little gold.
Ooh.
Look down that way. And up.
When adding a little iridescent to the inner part of your eye, what is that doing?
Well, it kind of gives a fresher look to the makeup, and it can separate your eyes a little bit, which is always a nice look. Look up. It also gives, even though you might have set your makeup very well with powder and stuff like that, it gives a reflection. So it adds light to the eye. And this is the smoky eye. Now, I would put a lash on this because I'm greedy.
You know.
So here we go.
Yay!
We're doing a lash.
Lashes!
Now, biggest mistake I ever see with eyelashes.
I am so glad you are addressing this because it drives me nuts when I see this.
People don't trim the length of the band. This is a band lash. This is the length of the band lash. I have to show everybody at home because this is important. When you get lashes, they look like this. This is the inside corner of the eye. This is the outside corner of the eye. You never trim from that part. You don't trim from the inside part. You trim from the outside part. And you have to fit your lash. So what you do is before you put glue on it, you take your eyelash and you lay it on your eye. Look down. And it does not go all the way to the inside corner of your eye. It goes a little bit further out. And let's see. See this one, open? It needs to be trimmed a little bit. So what I do is I count, if you look, there's little knobs. So I'm going to take like 2 of those off, and it's going to fit more comfortably. And what that does is it stops you from getting poked in the eye all night long by a lash that's going to drive you crazy. Just getting excess glue. Okay. This is my favorite glue, Duo. It's surgical adhesive. It's the same thing that eyelash glue is, but for some reason, it's really strong. I don't use a lot of glue on a lash. I just put enough. I don't like the black glue because I think it gets messy. And it can, if you screw up, it's going to create a black latex smear that is really difficult to clean. So I put the glue on, and I'm just going to wait a minute. Wait.
Wait, let that glue dry.
Say 3 Mississippis or whatever that is, and then you look down. If you're doing it on someone else, you have them look down and raise their eyebrows because it creates a nice taut space so you can place them close to the lashes. If you're doing it yourself, you want to make sure that you put your head back in the mirror and you raise your elbow as high up as you can and you place them that way. By looking in the mirror, you can't close your eye and put a lash on.
That's a great tip.
And you want to wait a little bit because it makes the glue get stickier. And I laid it down, look that way. Now the glue is white when you first use it, but then it dries clear. Look at me, look that way. And that's what it looks like. Let me see. Good. Smoke your eye.
That's it for today's show. Join us at the Beach House next week when Aaron Lucas gives you a report on fall's hottest hair and makeup trends fresh off the runway. And for the future of beauty, check out our sister site, FromTheLab.com. Bye.